Hello, welcome to A Visit with Nana and Papa. I'm Nana.
I'm Papa.
We're coming to you from Austin, Texas. Oh, I am Valerie.
I'm Jim. We didn't say that last time, but people who know us know us. People who don't.
We got a lot. So, do you want to start us off? Because I always start us off. Why don't you?
Because ladies first.
Okay, what am I wearing? I am wearing the Laurel sweater. I made it a tee because that's what I do most of the time. It is made with Holst Supersoft, and this section I messed up. All the rest of them are correct, but on this section I did not. But I don't care because I love the sweater. I think it's cool. It's all Holst Supersoft. I can't tell you the colorways. I also... lesson learned, these colors are too dark against the green, so if I were to do it over again, which I may someday, I would definitely do black and white photos. But it's not my only Holst Supersoft sweater, and I wear this in the summer. Oh, it keeps me nice and cool. It's super lightweight. It is not the softest yarn. So if you have any sensitivity to wool, I guess this probably would not be the first choice, but I don't find it scratchy. It's just not soft.
See, the last time we did this, she said she didn't find it itchy and scratchy, and I told her if she wanted to find itchy and scratchy, she needed to watch The Simpsons, but she left out the itchy.
Well, it's
so
not
I
itchy
wouldn't
and
talk about
scratchy
itchy
either.
and scratchy, but I brought up itchy and scratchy anyway. And what am I wearing? I am wearing my new 100% merino wool
Long sleeve.
long sleeve. It's supposed to be a base layer, and it's made by Base Layer Mechanics. Very comfortable, very nice, but you will have in very big, thick letters, Base Layer Mechanics across the front. I don't care. Still a great shirt. Amazon $34.99. So, and no, we don't get paid by Amazon for talking about shit, but I tell you where I bought it, how much I spent. That's a good buy. Okay, back to you, beautiful.
Well, I just was going to show them. This is the Laurel Tee pattern. It's by Along Avec Anna. It is in fingering weight. And the gauge, I'm trying to remember the gauge. It's 26 stitches to 4 inches. I think I ended up actually about 24. Not sure. I did do it on a US 4, so maybe 26. I don't know, but it fits me. I love it. I wear it a lot, and that's it for what I'm wearing. I want to, because I don't have any finished objects, because I haven't finished anything. But I want to quickly do some dream knitting, I guess you would call it, and get your opinion. So I'm thinking of making this sweater. It's called the Scrappy Granny Tee, and it is by Emily Marie Davies. It is super, super cute, I think. And so I'm going to try to show you some yarns. Maybe my loved one will help me, because there's a lot. This is option number 1.
What would you like me to help you with, beautiful? Well, you lost that one.
No, it's okay. Just leave it.
I get it.
So, here are some. These colors I'm thinking are one option. Will you hold those two up? So these are the browns. So this would be one of the possibilities for the Scrappy Tee.
Not my favorite.
And then we have this option, which maybe he'll help me hold these up too. You could grab some.
Why don't you just get your arms up there and I will put stuff up. No, put your arms like you're going to hold all these wonderful things, and I will stick them all up there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
You're gonna have to hold some because I can't.
There you go.
That might be our screenshot. Anyway,
There you go.
so which is your choice? The purple and pinks, or the natural browns?
Purple.
We can tell he has, and we recorded this and it didn't come out so good, so we're re-recording it.
It came out fine. The volume on it was
awful.
crap.
So
I had to turn it way up in order to hear it, so that means everybody else would have had to turn it up even more.
So
where did it go?
But I said I was gonna ask y'all your opinion, so I didn't have to ask him.
Which is BS, because she's gonna ask me anyhow.
Gonna ask me, and which is true. So
I used to threaten her with a homeless woman back when we had a house with an extra room. I said I was gonna bring a homeless woman in. She could live in the extra room, and all she had to do is talk yarn. So when she came up with this yarn and said, "Isn't this yummy?" It wasn't me. She was asking if this yarn was yummy. We never got the homeless woman, and I'm still answering the question, "Isn't this yummy?" With the,
Yeah, he doesn't think yarn can be yummy.
No.
But that's okay. I can think it enough for both of us.
Yes, you can.
So that's one. I also have been thinking about making this So Basic sweater, which he doesn't know, but I was thinking of making it for him, but in short sleeve. So doesn't have to have the pocket. Definitely doesn't have to have a pocket in a different color. But this is a So Basic sweater by Maxim Cyr. It is in fingering weight yarn, so it's nice and lightweight, which he's been wanting me to make him a lightweight sweater or lightweight tee out of fingering weight yarn. And I have the green to make him a fingering, and he loves dark green.
I do.
So that's another dream knit. Oh,
that's far in the future. She got so many things that she's got waiting.
I might make it out of this, which is not his favorite green, but it's an option. I have another green that's actually, I think, behind there, but
it's okay.
Anyway, and then is that it? Nope. Yep, that's it for my dream knitting. Those are my I really want to make. And I would like for you to tell us in the down bar what you're dreaming of knitting, making, or what's in your queue, or is there a new pattern that's... Oh, I do have one more. This one I can't make yet, but I really, really, really want to make it. It's not out yet.
That's cool.
I think this is super cool. Max is still in the testing on this, but he designed it. It's called the Interference, and his inspiration was the old TVs when at the end of the day when it stopped and the screen would go to the interference, the black and white. That's what his and I just think it's so cool. I think it looks really nice. I'm not sure what colors I would make it in, but I really, really like it. And that's it for my dream knitting. Do you have something?
Last Sunday, we met Josh and Michelle and Aria and Sophia at Dollar Tree, because Sophia was going to have watermelon camp at school. And she was going to get to camp, and they needed a care package, and they needed letters from home so they could have mail calls. So we got some cards to send her cards, and we got her some goodies, and we didn't want Aria to feel left out, so we got her some goodies, and we used that trip to Dollar Tree to see what kind of things they liked. And they learned how to do discretionary buying, because they only got so many items. So as they're walking through, and then they had a cart full of crap that, you can only have, you got put something back, and then they had to sit there and wow, yeah, and it was fun to watch them meditate on their purchases. But everybody left Dollar Tree happy, and we went to Taco Cabana. We got some tacos, and we had a lot of fun. The people that were in Taco Cabana didn't have as much fun as we did because they're frumpy assholes.
They are not
Yes, they are. If you don't like watching little kids play and you get mad because you hear little girls laughing, then somebody needs to take you outside and slap you up alongside the head. They're just lucky I was busy playing with little girls, and I didn't take them outside and slap them up alongside the head because I'm nice like that. Anyway, we had a very good time. We did have
a good time. It was so much fun.
It was fun with Papa growling and chasing the girls, and the girls running and hiding behind Nana. That was fun. So thank you for that, Josh, Michelle, Aria, Sophia. Wonderful time. What about you? You didn't have that yesterday.
I forgot about it. So this we talked about last week, and I ripped it out.
Yeah.
So those who said I would rip it, yeah. When I started looking at it, I realized that it was bunched up, so I didn't do the right pickup on the sides. So I am going to be 100% honest. This is going to require some brain space because I'm literally creating it on the fly, doing the math on my own. I mean, I'm using the Recalibrate in its design and using its schematic, so it's massively based on the Recalibrate, but because I'm doing an entirely different gauge than the Recalibrate, and I want to use a different gauge on this than I'm doing here, and I'm picking up, it's just going to require some brain space. And I am in the middle of another pattern that's really making me focus. So this is going into the I will make it some other day pile, which is known as my UFO pile, unfinished objects. And it might be there for a while. It's not a lonely in that bag. I'm just letting you know, but it is time out for that. Not because I'm angry about it, which is usually why they go to timeout, is something bad happened and I'm angry and I can't deal. But
because you got to punish your yarn, and then it will behave better next time you get it out.
Yeah, but I will make it. It's just not going to be today. Can we talk about FUBAR now?
Sure.
Because we watched the whole series.
FUBAR is a series on Netflix. It has Arnold Schwarzenegger as a 65-year-old CIA agent who is trying to retire. The opening is his retirement, and it doesn't happen. And it's a family comedy. It's a action comedy. It's a make you think about things comedy. But all in all, it's a comedy. Who's the girl? Monica Barbaro. I think that's how you say it. I first saw her in Top Gun Maverick. She was the female pilot. I think her call sign was Phoenix. But she was just in Top Gun Maverick, and now she's in a series with Arnold.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's not my favorite style of movies. It's an action or TV. It's a lot of action. But there was a lot of humor and a lot of, I don't know, interest, I guess. So I did enjoy it. We binge watched it. I do like binge watching. I'm not a big fan of watch an episode and wait forever for the next episode. It's not my favorite.
Or wait a week translates in forever for people who just are not patient.
And then he did not watch it because it's not really his jam. But I watched Queer Eye season 7. I love Queer Eye. If you like watching things that make you feel good, this is just perfect for making you feel good. But my favorite scene, without giving away any details, is when they undid, or I don't know what you call it when you take out the locks.
They took out a woman's braided locks. She just served time in prison.
Don't tell all the details.
Anyway,
that moment in time, I bawled like a baby, and I've rewatched that same episode 3 times now, and I'll probably watch it again, and I now follow her. Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. Should we do another?
Did a lot of reading this week. Read the latest D.K. Holmberg Chainbreaker book 11. What was it? A Corrupt Alliance. And once again, typical D.K. Holmberg. Good story. Crap ass editing. Non-existent editing. Who knows? But Chainbreaker series is a good series, but it has 2 or 3 other sidebar series that are running at the same time with some of the same characters, only they are the main characters in that series. So you kind of got to read the books all together, or stuff will happen in books about Jana. And when you are reading about the Chainbreaker, you don't know what happened with Jana, but he does. So you there's a lot of books to be read, but the order is not specific. If you're interested, give me a shout. I'll tell you how to read them. If you're not, okay. Okay, back to your yarn.
Okay, so I'm making the Into the Forest of the Night sweater. You know that code. It is the sweater. It's a crochet cardigan that is for the Knit Along for Pride, for End AIDS Pride 2023. Doing it in one way, and I'm irritated in another. But here's the sweater, what it's supposed to look like, and I just barely got started, but I made this, and I'm gonna have you hold this up. Like, I'm gonna wait. We'll just do this so you can see the double. What? Oh, now you can finally fit it in there, cause it's really big, and
it's stinky.
It won't fit me at all. So I may turn it into a scarf or a cowl or I don't know. Or I may make it for someone who wants it that's bigger than me. I don't know. So if you're one of those people, let me know. But probably just going to make it a scarf. But I then just stopped and I cast on this one. And this is not held, not in half. Well, here, let's just do it in half. You can see is much, I say, wait, much better, like, right? So I should have held both up at the same time, but I'll put a picture in here because you could see. The weird part is that I was knitting it on a H, which I thought was a 4.5, but I forgot that US doesn't have a 4.5 in their crochet hooks. I don't know why. And so it went from a 4 mil to a 5 mil. So that makes more sense because I was like, I don't understand. But I was using an H hook and I was knitting the largest size. So in my mind, I thought, all right, we'll go down one size in hook and we'll go down one size because I literally have, what do you think, 12, 14 inches at least of excess fabric, and that's if you're buttoning it and no button badge, no nothing, just It was literally,
You
I
have
could have made it,
enough
what do you
excess
call
fabric.
that, to kimono or whatever, where you could wrap
I
it.
could have
in-
stood behind you and we could wrap that around both of us and it'd be a
Almost.
snuggle sweater.
It was just, it's not that big. But when I wrapped it around myself, I could come to this side of me and to this side of me. So it just was weird. And in this one, when I wrap it around me, one size smaller, one size of hook smaller, I have about this much gap, which is fine because I don't know that it'll ever button or if it's even supposed to, but even if it is, you would need to add a border. So if you're adding a border, then who cares, right? Like,
and it's a pool sweater. It's a cover up for going to the pool.
That's what my intent for it was.
So I'm not thinking that it's going to get buttoned. I don't
it's
know.
definitely a summer cardigan regardless. And so I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to keep going with the hook that I have because it's not so much smaller that I can't wear it. But I did find it very odd that going down one size in a hook and going down one size when you're literally the width of me in excess and now it's here. That was just a really huge change. But the yarn in this one is Knit Picks Galileo. It is a sport weight and it is 50% merino, 50% bamboo. And
which is weird because they have exactly opposite properties.
It is, but and then this is made with Holst Supersoft, and I held two colors together. I don't know that you can see them here separately, but I will try so that you can see one is orange and one is a yellow. And then together, I think they kind of look like the color of sunset, but anyhow, that's it for the Into the Night. If you want to join in on the cow, I know that Gary Knits, Gary Rides does each week. He's going to be doing, or maybe not each week, but at least 6 times during the month of June and July, he'll be doing prize draws for people who are participating. And you just have to tag End AIDS Cow Pride 23 on Instagram with a in progress. You never have to finish your project. You just have to participate. And then at the end of every cow, the people who did finish get added to one extra draw. But for the ones in between, it's just participation.
Speaking of the draws, Valerie won a draw months ago. And Gary sent her prize, and we never got it because some assholes vandalized
You
our
don't have to say that word.
Yes, dear. They vandalized our mail area, and they broke into the mailbox and stole her knitting needle, her crochet hook. They don't even know what they stole, so they probably threw it away when they got it. What the hell is that? Well, you shouldn't have stolen it because it wasn't meant for you. But we didn't want Gary wondering why Valerie never told him how great it was to use this little Fandango crochet hook. So Valerie told Gary that the post office box got broken into and it was stolen. This is how kind Gary is. He took his own money instead of the one that was donated. He went and bought her another crochet hook and sent her a new replacement crochet hook.
From Furls. It's beautiful.
And that is so kind. Thank you very much, Gary. And once again, that's Gary Knits and Gary Rides. And Gary does all kinds of contributions and charity work. And you all need to go support him because he's a good person.
And his link to his YouTube channel is below. And his Instagram is Gary_knits_Gary_rides. So Gary Knits, Gary Rides.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that's that for that whip.
Books, again, I did a lot of reading this week, and movies. Warheit, Book 2, Revenge. Now I gotta wait for Warheit Book 3, because it's not done. But it's a good book. It has some twists and turns, but it also confirms some theories that I already had from book 1 and reading through book 2. I'm like, I think I was right. So if you have not started it, it is by A.C. Cobble. And looking at A.C. Cobble on Amazon Books, he's got a pretty good library. I'd say he's probably got like 15 at least. So you can give him a look and see if there's anything that you find interesting from A.C. Cobble. And if you haven't tried it, borrow book 1 and see if you like Warheit. It's got magic, it's got dragons, it's got fae, it's got all kinds of stuff. And it's a completely different look at the fae. Speaking of fae, I was in the checkout line yesterday at HEB, and the cashier, you would have loved her. She had this bright neon pink hair and dreadlocks, probably weave-ins, but she was a very nice young lady, and her name was Tatiana.
Oh,
so
cool.
I said, well, hello, Your Highness, and she just smiled at me. She says, nobody knows that. I said, well, I'm nobody. And her mom named her after the Queen of the Fae, Tatiana. So when I said, hello, Your Highness, she understood that I knew what her name meant, and she thought that was the coolest thing that had happened to her yesterday. So, hi, Tatiana. I bet you don't watch this because I never told you about it, so can't watch it. Maybe I'll go back and tell her, hey, I talked about you. You should watch it.
You're funny. I'm glad that you made her smile.
Back to your stinky nitty.
Okay, so next.
I gotta go for a second.
The sweater is the WestKnits MCal, and I'm going to try and hold it up best I can as a sweater. I am working on the body. However, I only work on it like if we're watching TV or if we're, so I have this much since splitting for sleeves. It's not a huge amount. However, we are walking a lot, although we haven't gone this morning, but we try and go, we call them hall crawls, because we go outside the apartment into the hallway and we make laps on the hallway. And we started out and I could only manage to do like not even a quarter mile, and we've gotten up to where, depending on how we're feeling, we can do a half mile.
Depending on the humidity.
Yeah, humidity is a really big issue. But we're doing it like during the week when I'm working. It's in the morning before work, on my break, on lunch, on my next break, and after work, and then in the evening. So it's just making me really happy because we're moving way more than we used to. And I'm hoping to get back to where we're actually not just hall crawling it, but we're actually walking around the neighborhood. And we met a gal last week. Her name is Hillary, or Hilaria? I think it's Aledia in Spanish. If I mixed it up, I'm really sorry. But she's a wonderful human. And she lives really close to here, within walking distance. When we're up to walking again, we used to walk right where she lives. Like, we used to walk over there on a regular basis. So if we get
There's a mulberry tree on the way, so you know.
If we get back into shape so where we can make that loop, then we can possibly go. And there's a little place, I don't know if it's still there, but for lunch over there, so we could actually walk over, have lunch, or have a cup of coffee and meet them.
There's several places over there.
And
Little Ola's is one of them.
So anyway, that will be nice. But this gets most of its love when we're out and about and not so much in the house, because in the house I'm usually in the TV. I've been doing the crochet for the TV of late, and I've been doing the next whip when I'm not.
She been working on Sophia's sweater as much as possible because she wants to get Sophia's sweater done.
Yeah, and I'll show that in just a minute. Do you have another something?
Glynn Stewart put out a new book in the Tier and Card series. I highly recommend the Tier and Card series. It's a very fun series. It's rawhide meets magic and Space Invaders. Elves basically invaded this continent and took it over and killed anybody they couldn't get to subject. And they're still at war with some of the people who won't accept their rule. But this is a story about the main characters are a half-breed elf and resident of this place, and a young cowhand. The young cowhand was so upset about something that happened that he tried to shoot the half elf, and wound up becoming his servant for life. It's just the basics, so you can start.
No, you're telling a part of the story.
Yes,
that's
dear.
Not how you tell stories.
Yes,
that's
it is.
mean.
No, it isn't. It's a starter. Just to give you the interest in the story.
It is not your telling part.
It's a good story. There's 3 books in it so far. They are the Tier and Card series by Glynn Stewart. And Glynn Stewart is a great author. He's one of our favorites. We started out with Glynn years ago with the Starship Mage series. And Damien was one of her favorite characters, probably still is. He's a mage, but he's a super mage. But he's a really good guy. So you develop a fondness for him, and he's short. And people give him shit because he's short, so I think somebody might identify with that. I don't know.
Nope.
But Glynn Stewart, check him out. He writes all kinds of things. He writes Army Action Series, Space Army Action Series, Fae books. He is just a very talented author. Glynn Stewart, check him out. He's a good guy. I like him. Definitely check out the Starship Mage books, and Tier and Card, and the Noble series. And what do you got now?
We are to the Sophie
sweater.
Sophie sweater. So y'all know from last time I was working on. I'm not going to take it off the holder because
we don't want it to fall apart.
Yeah.
This is the V-neck.
This is the shoulder, and then here we'll just do one side and one side. So there's an edge, but because of the edging, you can't see it. This is the front of the sweater. I have started the back. Try and hold it up without doing too much damage.
Don't get carried away with yourself.
This is the back.
You're already twisting and tangling.
No, I'm not. It's all untangled, James. Look at that. Look at that. Perfectly untangled. I wish that maybe I'll take a photo and show of how I have the yarns, but I do keep them in a very specific space, and I knit across like this, and then I knit back. I do not turn my work at all. It is called mirror knitting by some people. It's called knitting back by some people. I didn't know it had a name. Thanks to Gwen Bortner. I wish that I could take classes from her in person, but she had a class on Craftsy. Well, more than one. I took all of them, but one of her classes was interlock, and in the interlock class, she teaches you how to knit back so that you don't have to turn your work for these little tiny rectangles. And that transformed my knitting, being able to knit back and not have to turn my work. And I found it helpful, especially in little projects and in interlock. But in Intarsia, it's even more important for me, because all those other projects that I've done, there's been one strand of yarn where I could turn it if I want it, but I just didn't feel like it. But in the Intarsia, because I'm not turning my work, nothing gets twisted. I do have to twist the yarn when you're catching the yarn in Intarsia, and I literally pick up the 2 balls of yarn, do this, and put it back down. And by doing that, the twist where you need it is there, but it's not twisting all the yarns. When you turn your work, you can really booger up. Especially if you turn it, you can really mess it up. But in this case, I have been working straight off the ball for the entire front of this sweater, and now for the back, and not having to have little tiny strands and cut and weave in tons of ends. Literally the ends start at the bottom and go all the way up to the top of the sweater, which is huge. So this is not from a pattern. I have written out the entire pattern for the size 8, which is what I'm making right now. But I'm going to try, emphasis on try, to make the pattern to fit from a toddler like size 2T all the way up to a 7X in adult. And if I manage to figure all that math out, which the math isn't the problem, it's the measurements, figuring out how to find those measurements. And then I can do the math, and then I can do the pattern. And I do not have a timeline on it at all, but I will be sending the pattern over to Leslie, which, I should better. She has a known website now. She started.
She does.
She's now doing tech editing professionally.
Way to go, Leslie.
And I will put the website on the screen here, because for some reason my brain is not thinking of it at the moment. I should have put it in my notes. But I will definitely be hiring Miss Leslie to take care of tech editing after I do all the crazy math, and she can double check my math, because I'm good at math, but are my measurements right? Where do I find the measurements? Anyway, so that's where I'm at on that.
But speaking of Miss Leslie, we mentioned, rewrites Christmas carols during the holiday seasons to be knitting oriented. And Valerie mentioned to her that I do song alterations as well. And the correspondence back and forth, Miss Leslie asked how many rewrites it would take for me to write a clean song. Took one. Because as soon as she said that, what popped into my mind was an Aretha Franklin song, just not the same as Aretha Franklin. The Chain of Fools, if you know how it sounds, then you'll know how this sounds. I'm having a bad breathing day, so I'm not going to actually try and sing it for you, because I don't have enough air for that. But it's clean, 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 cleaning house again. For 5 long years, the house has been a mess. I just found out I have to clean it, I guess. You promised me it would be spick and span. I ain't nothing but a fool for believing a man. Clean, clean, clean. Clean, clean, clean. Clean, clean, clean. Cleaning house again. One of these mornings, the house is gonna be clean. But until that day, I'm gonna bitch and complain. Clean, clean, clean. Clean, clean, clean. Clean, clean, clean. Cleaning house again. There you go, clean lyrics.
I love you.
I love you.
That's pretty good. Okay, I need to really quick talk about Happy Meal. So, some time ago, because time, what is it? A construct, I guess.
Yep.
I got the most metal ever from Treehouse Knits.
Is that not beautiful? I
just love this color.
And then, no, it's not yummy, but I like it.
And then she did a new, and this was from, I don't remember the name of the collection. Why am I not thinking? I don't know. I'm not good because I don't know these shows that she's doing the collections for. But anyway, she had a new collection came out in March. Not this one. This one was way before March. But in March, she had a new collection that came out. And in that collection was this color. And I immediately thought, I need to make a sweater where I stripe these. And so I ordered 2 to go. And it's hard to see, but this yarn has light spots and darker spots in my hair because my DNA gets in everything. But I just love, and I just think that these 2 together are just beautiful. This is called the Lonely Highway. If you know what show it's from, good for you, because I'm horrible at that. And then this is the most metal ever. And if you don't follow Treehouse Knits, you should. She will take an inspiration and she comes out from that inspiration with an entire collection of yarn that matches that inspiration. And I do not know how. I used to dye. I've never, nope, not within my skill set in any way. But
No.
but that's it for
Speaking of metal, don't you think that with all the computer generated graphics that we have in all the movies, all the tech that's available, they should do a remake of Heavy Metal? Only do it with CGI instead of making it animated. I think that would be a tremendous movie if they would do that. Tell me what you think. Did you see the original Heavy Metal?
no.
It's a great movie. Excellent soundtrack. Love the soundtrack from that movie.
Can I finish my thought? That
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
It's okay.
Go ahead.
So that's it for what I received. I may have made a sneaky purchase from Laura at Always Be Kind Yarn. I'm going to put a picture in here. She did an update. So if you like really bright, happy things, you should go to Always Be Kind Yarn. I am super excited for receiving that package. And I may have something in that package to give out for the make-along that we're having. And just a reminder, we are having a summer tea make-along. I'll put the hashtag, or try to put the hashtag on here.
Shake, jiggle, jiggle, shake.
And, but yeah, if you're making a tea anyway, just enter it. If you're not, maybe make one. If you don't know how to make a tea, come join me on Sunday Zoom or even on a Thursday Zoom. Come visit and ask questions. We do have a Zoom on Tuesdays, which is for the end days count, and then Thursdays, both of those are from 6 to usually go to around 9 Central Time. You can come for 5 minutes or you can come and stay for a while. No expectations whatsoever. And then Sundays typically start at 10 a.m. and go at least till noon, sometimes longer. And yeah, just come when you can. Stay for a minute, stay for an hour, stay longer.
Speaking of Zooms, she was doing a Zoom the other day, and I was shopping, and since she wasn't hungry and she was going to be busy with her Zoom, and I was already at Walmart, I stopped at a place called Charlie's Philly Cheesesteak. I don't know a lot about Philly cheesesteaks because I'm not from Philly, and I hate green peppers. I like them raw. I don't like them cooked. Not my jam. But they had this big sign that says $5 off your first order. I said, well, I think I could do this. I went and I got my sandwich. When I was making my order, the young man that took my order, his name was Javier. And Javier has a very nice, neat, tight beard. And I said, so if this isn't the best Philly cheesesteak sandwich ever, I can pluck your beard out without even thinking, batting an eye. He just said, yes. And wow. Now, that's pretty confident. He says, this is the best Philly cheesesteak you will ever have. I said, okay. They made my meal. They gave it to me. It was a good-looking meal. I watched them make it, and I was impressed with the contents before I got them. No fried green peppers, which was good. I liked that. When I ate my sandwich, I don't know if it was supposed to be like that and as a Philly cheesesteak sandwich, but I will tell you what, it was delicious. I loved it. So I asked for Javier. Oh, he's gone. I said, he said I could pluck his beard if I didn't like the sandwich, and he ran off before I could do it. And he said, well, no, he's in the back. I'll go get him. Thinking that they were going to get to watch the manager get his beard plucked. I did not know Javier was the manager at the time. But Javier came out, and I told him what I wanted to see him about. Told him it was a great sandwich, and wanted to thank him and the person who made it. So the person who made it's in the back. You want to talk to him? I said, sure. The person who made its name was Arturo. And it turns out that Javier was the off-going manager. Arturo was the oncoming manager. So I got to meet both managers. If you have a Charlie's cheesesteak, give them a try. I think it's a fairly new franchise. I don't know. But if theirs is as good as mine, which I won't guarantee that it is because it's all in the employees, and these employees were very happy, close-knit, good working crew. That says something about the store and the management. If the crew gets along and likes each other and they like the manager, odds are you're going to get a better sandwich than if the crew hates each other, because then they don't care about what they're doing either. So a great place to get a sandwich. Charlie's Philly cheesesteak. Good sandwich. Now, yesterday, my beautiful darling had a Zoom. And to occupy my time during her Zoom, I went to The Little Mermaid in 3D. And it's a good movie. The 3D is good. It's very long. I think it's too long for a kid's movie because, kids in their attention span. But I also, having seen the movie, I would recommend to go see the movie, but I would not recommend taking anybody probably under the age of 9 because there are some pretty intense scenes that there were younger kids in the movie with me, and I heard a lot of dismay at some of the scenes. So I always urge parents to go and see the movie before they take their kids. Yeah, you're going to have to sit through it twice, but would you rather sit through a movie twice or sit up with bad dreams for a long time because you didn't know that, oh, wow, this bad thing happened in this one scene. It's only one scene. The rest of the movie is great, but what part of the movie is my kid going to remember forever? The one that wakes them up in the middle of the night when somebody got their head bit off. Go preview a movie before you take the kids. Okay, did you have more, Bubby?
Lola Bean Yarn Co. Her quarter thing is still going on, and Magpie Fiber is still doing the same fundraising. They're really trying to reach a goal. If you can help, great. Also, Gathering Dot Stitches is going to be a new yarn shop opening next weekend for a soft opening in Fort Washington, which Maryland, which is south and east of DC. And you can follow them on Instagram, and they are wanting books. So if you're in the area and you have knitting or crochet books that you're not using, they're trying to set up a library so that people can just check out a book if they need it, especially folks who just can't afford to necessarily buy but want to be. They're trying to make it inclusive and make it more so people who want to learn to craft can, and they're doing so in a neighborhood that really could use it, and it makes me so happy. So yeah, that's it.
And once again, this is the knee brace. It is made by Shingyade. And it is what has made it so Valerie and I can do these hall crawls and do these walks. I wholeheartedly recommend it. This, you may have seen me taking some hits off from it. This is also how we make the hall crawls, because without this, it would not happen. I'm trying to get the VA to actually give me oxygen so I can continue to move and do stuff. But so far, I have to spend $20 a bottle on this. And I go through these pretty quick because at least every lap of the hall crawl, I got to get some air in me. It's even worse when the humidity is high because I can't breathe that thick air. It just kills me. But going to do a public service announcement here because my sister asked me a question. And she told me she can't pick a good melon. So I said, well, there's probably a lot of people that don't understand that. Watermelons. See this? When you roll a watermelon over, you look at the belly. If that belly isn't yellow, the melon isn't ripe. The melon stays on the vine long enough for that part that sits on the ground to turn yellow. You got a good ripe melon. If it's still white, it's not good. Go and look at the cut melon in the store before you buy a whole melon, because they're grabbing those whole melons and cutting them up to make the cut melon. If the cut melon doesn't look tasty, don't buy a watermelon there. You're not going to be good. Your smooth skin melons like honeydews, run your thumb across the skin. If it just slides across, don't buy it. If it's tacky and it sticks, buy it. When the slick skin melons get ripe, sugar comes up to the surface, and that's what you're feeling, is that tackiness from the sugar. If there's no tacky, there's no sugar, and what you have got is just a woody, tasteless, not a good melon, and you really regret buying it, especially if they're like $7 or $8 a melon. So if you are buying something that's got webbing on it, like cantaloupe or muskmelon, push on the ends and make sure that there's a little give, and smell it. If it doesn't smell like a melon, it's not going to taste like a melon. There you go. Public service announcement, how to pick melons. We have to wrap this up because Valerie has a Zoom starting in 1 minute and she's not there. So, as always, Hazel, thank you so much. Be kind. Hazel says so. And you can't argue with Hazel. Okay, we're going to have to plug this in somewhere because we forgot. Tomorrow is Memorial Day. And my sister asked me to play a song for you, which I can't do because I just haven't got it in me to sing it. But Valerie is going to post a clip, link at the bottom.
It'll be right at the top of the show notes will be the link. It's on this same channel. It's way old, but it is the veteran song that he wrote a long time ago before we ever met. And but it's a video I made a long time ago with his music, with him recording, singing his own song.
It's got a good message to it. I not just because I wrote it, but I highly encourage you to check out the veteran song and share it with anybody you want to. If you have a veteran, tell them thank you. And if you've lost a family member to any of the multiple excursions our government has put our men into, our sympathies and condolences to you, and give the song a listen and you might identify with it. Thanks.
Happy. I don't like saying Happy Memorial Day because it's not a happy day, but...
Have a good Memorial Day.
Yeah, have a good day.